Hello, everyone. Sorry I'm a little bit late. Oh, it's hot. The topic is English. If you have questions about English at all, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, reading, writing, listening, speaking, accent, whatever questions you have, ask me and I will answer them. And if you want to come on stage to ask me, you can. That's what we're doing today. Okay? Sometimes I prepare, something to teach, right? I'll teach about a subject or a topic. But every time I do that, and I take time to prepare something, there are people who will say, why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? And why don't you do this? And why don't you do that? So I have found that these kinds of streams where I just take questions. If you have questions, give me your questions and I will answer them. I will try. That way everybody's happy. So, ask away. Hello, Belen. Hello, Crystal and Luna and Par and Zola. Hello, Jasper and Lida and Lien Lien and Teglas and Anas. Hello. If you have questions, I have answers. They may not always be the right answers, but I have them. Hello, Hashem. Thank you, Lida. It's nice of you to say. I do my best. I'm a little hungry. Please choose a topic and talk about it. How can we brainstorm about a kind of topic? So brainstorming is something that everyone does differently, I think. There are many ways to brainstorm. Brainstorming is about just getting out your quick thoughts and ideas about something. So the way I usually brainstorm, the first thing I usually do is I get a pad of paper, and whatever the topic is, I'll write that in the middle, right in the center of the top of the page. I'll write, let's say sports, right? Like that's the topic of sports, okay? Then I have to try to think of every word that I can think of that's related to sports, every topic that's a subtopic of sports, right? So what kind of sports are there, right? So there's baseball and soccer and football and, cricket and all kinds of sports, rugby, right? Okay, great. So write those down. And then you can write down all the words that are related to that and all the thoughts that come that are related to that, right? So, and when you write, you're supposed to write like 1 or 2 words. You're not writing a whole sentence. You're just trying to write one thing so that you remember that idea. That's it, right? So, then I'll take my brainstorm map, right? We call that a mind map. Okay, mind mapping means you take a piece of paper and you write down an idea, and then you try to make a web of links going out from that main idea. Okay, and that helps you to start to organize your thoughts. Then I take that and make an outline. So I use my mind map to make an outline. And then, if you want to speak about a topic fluently, practice speaking with your outline. Like, test yourself a bit, right? So with your outline, you can see all the different topics quickly that you can jump to. You can see all the important points that you need to make quickly. You can write your outline down on one little note card, and now you have everything you need to talk about this in detail, okay? And Lida, there is a website that you can use that will help you to try to do this. I don't know if you'll be able to access it, though. But there's a website I use. Let me see if I can just show it first. Let's see. I use this website for my conversation classes. Anytime I have a conversation class, I go to this website, I look at the topics, I choose a topic, and then in the link they have a list of questions that you can ask your students. But you can also use this to practice conversation by yourself. Just try to answer all the questions, right? So take a look here. This is the website. This is actually a website for teachers. It's mostly for teachers. But this one link right here, questions, go here where it says questions. Click on that, and now look. Look at this huge list of topics of conversation. Okay? And then click one. So let's talk about friends. Click on friends. And now look at all these questions about friends. Okay, so that's an excellent way to work on your conversation. Okay, Faizan, I share my screen because I'm running my HelloTalk off of my computer on a web browser. It's a little tricky, but you can do it. You cannot use HelloTalk on your computer, but you can run a live stream off your computer. but you have to have a few pieces of equipment. You experience the Boston accent. You're at the lake with your friend at your friend's house, and she has friends from Boston. Park the car. Yeah, at Harvard Yard. Gotta park the car at Harvard Yard. Yeah. Introduce them to Chris. Tell them about Chris. He has such a classic Boston accent. I love his accent. How to give you tips about how to write long sentences. Lien, I just wrote an article about that. I have 2 articles about it. They both, one is telling you how to do it, like just writing, it's an article about the idea, explaining what you need to do. And part 2 is a 7-day plan to help you actually write sentences longer. Okay? So again, let me share my screen and I will show you. One moment. Okay, so here is my my blog. I'm sorry, this is my blog, right? There I am. Okay, and if you go down here and you check out this, let's see, which one is it? Let me find it. It's under grammar, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, here it is, right here. How to write and speak longer, more complex sentences in English. Why is it not opening? Hello? Oh, I gotta log in, that's why. Continue with Google. There we go. Let's try that again. There we go. Okay, now take a look. Look, here's this article that will tell you everything about how to write longer sentences in English. Okay? Writing longer sentences is really just about writing a bunch of short sentences and learning how to put them together. Okay? So there are certain words in English that you can use like glue, right? So if you have 2 pieces, 2 sentences, you can take this glue word and put it in the middle, and now you have one long sentence. Okay? So, Lien, if you're interested in reading that article, you might need a VPN to go to my blog, but if you send me a private message, maybe I can copy and paste this and send it to you. Okay? If you want to read my article about how to write long sentences, then I will send it to you, but you have to send me a message. Okay? How can a 9-year-old learn English well? Make it fun. Don't make it homework. Make it fun. Don't make it something that they have to do. Make it something that they can do. This is one big mistake people make about learning. Every time you teach your child this is something you must do, you have no choice. I don't care if you like it or not, you have to do it. Every time you do that, you encourage them to feel like learning is work and torture. Not fun, not interesting, not an experience, not an opportunity. You're telling them learning is torture. Go do it. I don't care if you like it. Do it anyway. That's teaching your child that education is torture. That learning is never ever good or fun. It's always just something you must do. So, get them books they can read, right? Buy them a book as a gift. Everyone loves to get a gift, right? Wrap up the book, put a bow on it, make it look nice, and give it to them and say, look, I got you a special present. And it's an English book that we can read together. Right? Let them watch shows like Peppa Pig, like Peppa Pig, or little cartoons that help with English, But when they're young, you want to encourage them to learn. You don't want to force them to learn. That's a huge mistake. And I know what you're going to say. But sometimes in life you have to just do things, Teacher Mark. Sometimes you don't have the choice of whether you like it or not. That's true. That's true. But guess what? Sometimes in life you do have a choice. And so it's weird that we teach people that there is nothing else but just education is not fun. Right? Don't force them, encourage them. Yeah, create an English environment and make them feel like learning English is not work. Make them feel like it's a game. It's an advantage. It's something that they know, like a secret that nobody else knows. If you learn this thing, then you'll know something nobody else will know. Your English will be better than your friends. You can impress them. I mean, I don't want to encourage that, but at the same time, sometimes kids, a little bit of competition is not a bad thing. A little, right? This is friendly competition. So if you tell your kid, hey, if you learn this, you can teach your friend. That makes them feel like they're strong, like they know something their friend doesn't know, and now they can share it with them. Okay? So, you're right that in life, learning can't always be fun. But in life, you should do your best to make it interesting and fun and not torture as much as you can. The default should not be learning is boring. That shouldn't be the default. Default means like the resting position, right? Like the standard position is the default, okay? And if everybody just thinks learning is boring, that's not the good thing. That's a terrible thing, okay? That's why you hate some of your teachers. There were some teachers you had, and you hated them. Why? Why did you hate that teacher? Because they made learning feel like torture. They made learning feel like it was boring torture that was never an opportunity. It was never interesting. It was never something that made you better. Right? It was just something you have to do. I don't care if you like it or not. That's just so sad. The greatest thing you can do is improve your mind. And we teach people that it's torture. It's weird, right? Okay, now there are some people raising their hand, I think. No? Okay, well, raise your hand if you want to come on stage and talk to me about that. About whatever, anything. Okay, Miriam has a question. One minute, Miriam. I think I would say, Miriam, that conceited and arrogant and cocky are pretty close to the same. Arrogant and cocky are very close. He's arrogant, he's cocky, pretty close to the same, okay? Conceited is a little bit more like vain. Okay, so I would say that arrogant is more like cocky and conceited is more like vain. Okay, vain is, I love myself. I'm so awesome. I love myself. I'm vain. That's vanity. To have vanity is when you love yourself. Okay? If you're kissing yourself all the time, you are vain. Okay? Conceited is also kind of like that. Like, I love myself and I think I'm the best. You know? Let me check something here. I want to look at the etymology of conceited. having an overweening opinion of oneself. Short for self-conceited. So actually the original word was self-conceited. And oh, interesting. The word conceited is actually related to the word conceive. To conceive is like to have a thought, is to conceive a thought, right? To create, to make, to conceive. Okay, you conceive a child, you conceive a thought. It's like birth. Okay, to give birth to something is to conceive. Okay, and so the word conceited is about conceiving, meaning that you're thinking about yourself all the time. So to conceive of yourself all the time is to be conceited. Okay, so vanity is basically I care mostly about my looks more than anything. Okay, to be conceited is to have a feeling that you're better than everybody else, right? Okay, to be arrogant and cocky is like that too. Ooh, wow, that is a hard one. Merriam, sometimes these are definitely interchangeable. Sometimes I think the difference is a very slight nuance. Okay? I think what you should do is you should ask ChatGPT to show you some example sentences to show you the differences between the usage. Because it's subtle. Okay? It's not that obvious. It's pretty subtle. And I think that you'll get a much better picture if you see, like 10 sentences that use these words carefully and show the different ways. Then I think you'll get a better picture. All right? Sometimes that's the best way. Can I introduce travel English? Sure. Let me see here something. Have you ever heard of Lonely Planet? Jia. Lonely Planet. They make travel phrase books for many languages, and they are some of the best. I have a few of them. They're travel phrase books, and they're excellent. Okay, that's one thing I would say is you should look for Lonely Planet guidebooks, travel books. Okay, English travel books. They have lots of them, and so that's one way, right? Travel phrase books with Lonely Planet, and then let's see. One moment. No, that's not the one I want. Yeah, here's a good one. Here's a good one right here. Try this website. This website, let me show it to you, is all about travel English. Look at this. Travel English. At the airport. Check-in. What's wrong? Questions and answers. On the plane. Customs and immigration. At the hotel. At the restaurant. Shopping. Transportation. Right? So let's go shopping here. General. Here we go. Look at that. Can I help you find something? Yes. Do you have this dress in a bigger size? Okay, what size are you looking for? Size 6, but if you have a size 8, I'll try it on as well. Okay, that's a good one. All right, so there you go. That's a good website for travel English to get started. Okay. All right, please be patient. I'm trying to answer questions. How can you improve your English with apps? Which apps are useful? Muna, I can't tell you that. Everybody feels different about that. There are some people who think this app is great and some people who think this app is terrible. So the only way is for you to do some research and go find out and try some yourself. Okay? And the other thing is there are new apps coming out all the time. So I haven't looked at what apps are available in the last year or so. I'm sure there are plenty of new apps available that I don't even know about. So, this is another thing that I do as a teacher. Let me explain something to you. If you say you are serious about learning, then you have to be serious about learning. Saying it is not doing it. Okay? Anyone can say it. I want to be serious about this. Great, you want to. But you can't want and not do. You have to do the thing. Right? So, what I'm trying to explain to you is that many people say they're serious, but they actually don't act seriously. So if you are serious, Muna, then go do the research and look it up. How would I give you that answer? I would give you that answer by doing a search online for all the available apps. I would use ChatGPT to help me, okay, and Google, and maybe even DeepSeek or some other ones, just to see what answers I get. And then I'll make a list, and then I'll start downloading some of them and see which ones are free that I can try for free first, right? And then I'll read reviews, and I'll see which ones are the most popular and the most useful, and I'll try to find apps that fit my goals, specifically my goals. Not all apps are good for every goal, right? So all I'm trying to say is, if you really are serious, then go prove it. Do the work. Do the work. Okay? Talking doesn't make you serious. Doing makes you serious. Okay? All right, let's see. Why in advanced English and scientific articles we find many words, their etymology comes from Latin and Greek. That's because science, and in general, almost all science words originally were derived from Latin and Greek. That was the original language of science, okay? Going back thousands of years. In the West, the language of science and of discovery, you know, like new species and animals and biology, and that's all Latin and Greek. Okay? So why? Because of history. Yeah. You hate the French language because you were studying on the basis it was torture. See, there's nothing wrong with the French language. They just forced it on you, and that's not cool. Right? So it's just a matter of approaching it. You should go learn it again. You should go study it again. For yourself. Not because of anybody else. You should go do it for yourself. Because anybody who made you hate a topic, if you let someone make you feel like, I hate this subject now, that's your loss. That's your loss. I'm sure there's something good in that subject. You just didn't find it. You just weren't shown it. So don't let them win. If you hate it, they won. You should learn it in spite of how much you hate it. Yeah, vanity is more about appearance and looks. Yeah. Conceited is more like I'm the best. Yeah. Yeah. Although, yeah, again, conceited is the original meaning of conceited is that you think about yourself all the time. Yeah, to conceive of yourself all the time. What's the difference between the word even and until? That depends on the situation. So, until is like if I say, well, I want to check something. Wait 1 minute. So the original meaning of until is as far as or up to. Okay? Onward to and into, onward as far as. So that means like we're going to walk until we get to Boston. We're going to drive until we get to the gas station. We're going to fly until we get to India. Right? So that means that onward and into, or onward and as far as. As far as. Right? Until means as far as this. Okay? Right? But it has other meanings depending on the context. Right? Until you give me your homework, I cannot give you a grade. Okay? So it's like an if-when. If you do this, then I do this. Until you do this, I can't do this. Okay? That kind of a thing. But then even, it depends on the situation. Right? Even though is different than these things are even. Right? Even can mean equal. I'm giving an even number of cookies to all my students. 2 cookies to each student. That's an even number, okay? But if I say, even the best students sometimes fail, that's a little different, that meaning, right? That just means the best students, those, that special group, even they will sometimes fail, okay? All right, but again, those words have a lot of context, but that's the kind of question that's very good for ChatGPT. Ask it to explain the difference and show you all the different meanings or all the different uses in sentences. Give examples. Okay? Yeah, Anas, good for you. Yeah, good for you. This sounds like a ChatGPT reply. Well, that's because, again, that's what I think is funny when people say ChatGPT is always so nice. Well, so am I most of the time. I always tell you, your answers are great. That's a good answer. That's good. You should start with that and then do this. I always say the same thing. That's really good, but that's really great. But so does ChatGPT. What's the difference? You know, I can't trust it. It's always so nice to me. So, you know. Well, guess what? The new ChatGPT 5, I was told, I haven't tried it yet, but I was told that it has personalities that you can kind of choose now. So if you don't want it to tell you how great you are all the time, it won't anymore. You can choose a different personality that will push back on you and tell you, nope, that's wrong. Yeah. But they tested it, and many people said, oh, but now I miss the guy who was so positive all the time and always telling me how great things are. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. If we just read writing samples and learn how it is written and extract the ideas, will it be useful for writing skills in the IELTS? Lita, Anytime you start a sentence with the words "if we just" or "if I just," it's never really a good place to start. Because when you use those words, it means that you're trying to look for the least that you can do, not the most that you can do. And learning shouldn't be about the least you can do, it should be about the most you can do. So, is just reading samples and learning how they're written, is that enough by itself? When you use the word just, it makes me think you want me to tell you that's enough. No, it's not enough by itself. It's useful. It's useful, okay? But it's not enough by itself. All right? The IELTS has many, many different parts, and you have to practice them with many different skills, many different ways to practice, not just one way, okay? There are many websites available for that. Lita, I don't know if you've gone to my website, but look, let me show you something. This is my website here. Okay, this is my website. There I am, right? And if you go up here to the top, look, book online. You can buy private lessons from me. If you want to buy a lesson from me, go here. If you want to read my blog, go here. If you want to study, click on resources. And now go look at this. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, IELTS, TOEFL, grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation. So, let's say you want to work on your IELTS. Click on IELTS and look at that. IELTS Advantage, IELTS Speaking Simulator, British Council, IELTS Ready. Those are links. You click on these, there's practice tests here. There's articles from Scientific American for you to read. Okay? And then there are more. Again, if you want to go back, you can look at these other ones too. Let's say if you want to work on you said you're working on your reading, right? No, writing. Sorry, writing. So go to writing. There's Purdue University Online Writing Lab. Here's the Writing Resources English Club. Write and Improve. Free Writing Practice Tool. iteslj.org. Topics and questions for practice for writing. Okay, and then of course, ChatGPT is excellent for writing practice. Okay, you should tell ChatGPT I need to work on my IELTS writing practice. Please create exercises for me to practice, and it will. Okay? And if you want to go to that website that I was just showing you, here it is right here. Okay? Hello, David and Raven. Is it normal that when I listen to native speakers on HelloTalk, I can understand even if they talk fast, but on YouTube or other places I might not understand? Well, that depends on who you're listening to. It's really that simple, everybody. Look, there are many things. There are many reasons why you might understand one person more than another. For example, many people ask me this question. Why do I understand you, but I can't understand everyone else? Number one, this is my job. I am a teacher. It is my job to try to speak well. I am an ESL teacher. That means that I have experience, lots of experience, talking and teaching people who don't natively speak English. So I speak more slowly, I speak more clearly, I'm much more careful with my vocabulary, and on top of that, I also am a musician. So because I'm a musician, I know about audio equipment, and I have the nicest that you can get. So it's very, very clear because, one, I'm trying to be clear. It's my job, okay? And two, because I deliberately slow down and I'm much more careful with my language. And three, because I use excellent equipment to make sure the sound is the highest clarity, Okay? Those are the reasons why. Okay? But when you go to YouTube, you could be listening to somebody who's in a restaurant. It's very loud and noisy. It's hard to understand them. It's not clear. They don't have a good microphone. So the audio quality is already a problem. The background noise and the audio quality is already a problem. Okay? Then they have an accent and they use a lot of slang. So now you have background noise and background audio, plus they have an accent and they use a lot of slang. That's going to make it harder, right? Every one of those things is going to make it harder. So that's why, Aya, you should go to my blog and you should read the article that I wrote about choosing the right person to shadow. Okay, check it out. Go here to the top, click on posts, and right here, look at this, shadowing the best. Why who you imitate matters more than you think. So what that means, this article is all about how, yes, you should shadow people. Okay, you should find people who you listen to them and you like them and you try to listen to their voice and mimic, pretend to be them, right? But you shouldn't do it for just anyone. You shouldn't choose just some guy or just some girl on YouTube. So read that article and I'll tell you who you should choose. Okay? Oh, Athena, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. And yeah, most of them are not teachers. That's right. Let's see. I thought we could use your dad's car while he was away as far as you are concerned. Which is as far as you are concerned? That might not be a proper way to use it. I think what they're trying to say is as far as you knew. I think that's what they mean. I think that's not a proper way to use it. As far as I'm concerned means that's what I think. What I think is this. Okay? But I think what they're trying to say is, I thought we could use your car while he was away. Or I thought that's what you said. Right? I thought that's what you believed, or that's what you said. Something like that. Okay? But as far as you are concerned, or as far as I am concerned, means that's based on what he thinks or based on what I think. Okay? All right, let's see. I still don't have anybody raising their hand. Or maybe I missed them. Try again, guys. Raise your hand. I think Hello Talk needs to work on the hand raising button because it doesn't really work that well, to be honest with you. Sometimes it says that there's somebody having their hand is raised and I go over there and it's not there anymore. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not a very accurate system. And I feel like they should have it numbered, like who's been waiting the longest. There should be like a timer so that I can see who stood in line first to wait and who's been waiting the longest so I can choose them, you know? Abi, you have to raise your hand. There's a hand raising button, not just an emoji. No, there's a button. Click the button. But you must have a question. If you want to come on stage, you must have a question. I am working right now. This is work from me. So if you are walking into a teacher's classroom when he is working, then you must have a question for the teacher. You can't just come into the teacher's classroom and say, hey, do you mind if we chat for a few minutes? No, they're busy. They're teaching. But if you have a question, that's different. Okay? No questions? Really? 77 people don't have questions? Not one? Why is the sky blue, Teacher Mark? All right, well, I'll just play some waiting music while I'm waiting for a question. Bum bum ba da da dun dun da 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 dun dun da 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 dun dun da da dun dun da da dun dun da da. The Girl from Ipanema. That's the best waiting music of all time. You're welcome, Alward. Take care. About what? About English. About life. About the world. About culture. About history. Just not about politics or a religion. Neither of those things. English grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, accent, reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking. I love history too. Okay, we've got Eddie. One minute, Eddie. What's Eddie's question? Let's talk to Eddie. Eddie, are you there? Do you want to come talk to me? You raised your hand. Let me try one more time. There he is.
Hello.
Hello, Eddie. How are you? Ooh.
I'm fine.
How weird. There are two Eddies on stage. How's that happen? That's
I'm
weird.
nowhere close. It's okay? It's okay?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Here, hold on. Let me try to see if I can just take one of you off. Ah, no, that didn't work. Try again, Eddie. I'm sorry. I was trying to just take off one of you, but it didn't work. Raise your hand again, Eddie. Sorry, Eddie. Let's try that again. There's some weirdness with HelloTalk. All right, do we have one or two Eddies? Ah, there we go. Just one this time. That's better.
Okay. Can you see me? Can you see me?
Yes, I can. Yeah. All right, Eddie. So, how are you today? What can I do for you?
And I have some question I want to ask you. Okay?
Okay, go ahead.
And that is, I've just downloaded this application 1 year ago. And so I just want to know how to use this application. Or
okay.
this function.
Oh, well, it has a lot of functions, you know. I've been using this app almost from the beginning, like 11 and a half years. But when it started, it was very basic. Now it has so many features and so many functions. I don't even know all of them. But I can tell you about the main functions. Okay, I can tell you the basic way to use it. All right. HelloTalk has all kinds of. I mean, you can study languages. You can take a course. You can buy a course. You can. There are lots of things you can do. But the main purpose for HelloTalk is to try to make friendships and connections with other people from around the world, either to practice language, like exchanging language, or just for cultural, you know, like you want to talk and you've never talked to somebody from America, so you want to talk to them, you know, that's fun, right? So those are the two main reasons that people use HelloTalk, I think. But let me ask you a question, Eddie. Do you go fishing?
Yes. Fishing?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, guess what? HelloTalk is like fishing.
Yes?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when you go fishing, some days you go out there and you throw it out there and you reel it in and there's nothing. You throw it out there and you reel it in and there's nothing. You throw it out there and you reel it in and there's nothing. And maybe that day you don't catch anything. That's why they call it fishing and not catching. Okay, so, but you have to throw it out many times, right? You have to throw out the line many times. You can't just throw it out one time. If you throw it out one time, of course, that's not enough, right? So the same thing is true on HelloTalk. If you only message one person or two people, your chances of catching something are very small. So how do you increase your chances of catching something? You throw it out more, right? So that means you have to message more people, okay? And then here's the number one biggest mistake that people make when they use HelloTalk. They don't have an introduction.
Oh, yes. So I asked you these questions.
Yeah.
So I don't know how to do it.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're wanting to talk to someone, 你需要介绍说介绍 you know, you have to say an introduction. But I get messages every day, dozens of messages from people who just wave. That's all they do. They just wave at me. Like I'm supposed to reply to that. But guess what? If you walk down the street and you wave to me, am I going to stop and talk to you? I don't know you. You just waved at me. No, I'm not. Right? So the same thing is true on the internet. If you just wave at someone, they are not going to talk to you. Just like in real life, you have to introduce yourself. So you have to say, hello, my name is Eddie Winston. I'm from China. I live in Beijing. Then you have to show interest in that person. Okay? Sometimes people, they make a big mistake. They say, hi, my name is Eddie. Will you please teach me English? That's too fast. That's too fast. You don't even know this person and you're asking them for a favor? That is not how it works. Okay? If you want somebody who's going to answer your questions right now, that's called a teacher and you have to pay them. Okay? But if you want somebody who's a friend who can help you, they will answer your questions. They don't know everything, but they do know a lot and they can help you. But to do that, you first have to make a connection. So 这是关系. Right? First you have to build the relationship. When you first meet somebody in business, you don't just walk up to them and say, hey, can you make me a deal? We've just met, but can you make me a deal? That's what you're doing when you go on HelloTalk and you just say, hi, I don't know you, but will you do me a favor and teach me English? It's unrealistic. It's not normal. It's weird. 奇怪, right? So instead, don't do that. What you should do is look at their profile, read about them, look at their posts and their moments and see what are they interested in, what do they do, what kind of person is this, right? And then look and find somebody that has some similar interests to you. If you like basketball, find somebody who likes basketball and then say, hey, I see you like basketball. I love basketball too. Who's your favorite player? Or did you see that game last night? Now, if you say that, now you have something in common, and they might say, oh, that's cool, I'm going to reply to this guy. Okay? So that's why I said it's like fishing, because when you go fishing, you have a hook, and on the end of the hook, you have to put something, you have to have something yummy for the fish to eat. That's called bait. We call that bait. Okay? When you're fishing, it's called bait. Well, when you're typing, your introduction is your bait. If you have a great introduction, people will reply. But if you don't have a great introduction, you just do this. If you just say hi, people will not reply. Okay? So, my suggestion is be patient, be persistent, right? Don't give up, right? Try, 加油, right? And treat it like fishing. Like you have to go out there every day and message a bunch of people. And if you message 50 people, maybe 2 or 3 of them will reply and be good friends. Okay? But you're not going to find a good friend in every person you talk to. And the reason why is because friendship is rare. Friendship is valuable. You don't just find a friend walking on the street, just sitting there, right? You have to develop that, right? Just like you don't find a diamond sitting on the road either. You have to dig for it, right? You have to find it, right? So friendships are like that. Now, if you do that, if you take the time to make a friendship on HelloTalk, it's almost like having a free teacher sometimes, because they are very helpful and they can answer your questions. Okay? So yeah.
I understand. But I found another thing that is some friends are fake.
Well, that's
dangerous.
True. Well, that's true, sure, but that's just the internet. That's true on every app. Every single app has fake people, scammers, you know? But I'll tell you what, this app is very easy to deal with that. Do you know why? Because scammers don't want to learn anything. So as soon as you start talking about English and you're serious about English, they will leave. So all you have to do is start asking them some questions that are serious, or engage them in a serious friendship way, right? Don't give them any personal information, but talk about friendly things, right? Like basketball's not personal information, right? If you talk about basketball with somebody, that's not personal information. But most people, scammers want something fast. So the way that you can deal with a scammer is by giving them something slow, right? So what you have to do is you have to say, hey, what do you do for fun sometimes? And then say, like, I like to go to the movies. Do you like movies? Like, ask them normal questions that friends would ask. And if they start getting tired of it or bored, then you know they're not real. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's not here on this app, it's not that hard to figure out who's fake because they have no patience. That's the secret. Honestly, if you have patience and you are on the internet today, then you have a massive advantage over everyone else, because the 99% of the people who use the internet, they don't have any patience at all. So all you have to do is be patient, and then the scammers will leave you alone because they have none. Okay? So just do your best, and be patient. Just keep trying, and remember, friendship is valuable, and remember that it's an exchange, right? So don't make it unequal. You have to give them something too, so you have to be interesting, right? Sometimes people don't know why. Like, why won't you talk to me? Why don't people talk to me? And it's kind of like flowers. Why does the bee go to this flower but not to that flower? Maybe this flower is more interesting. Maybe this flower smells better. This flower has more color. This flower is taller. This flower has something more. So my point is, if you want people to talk to you, then you have to be the interesting flower, not the boring flower. Okay? Yeah, make yourself interesting, and then people will be interested. If people are not interested in you, it could be because you're not giving them anything to be interested in. Okay? So
I agree with you.
Tell them about yourself. Tell them what you like to do for fun. Tell them about your dreams or your goals or something, But, just, that's, again, friendship is a risk. Every time you make a friend, you have to tell them something that is personal. And that's risky.
Yes, it's personal.
Yeah, that's risky. But that's why it's beneficial. That's why it's so valuable, because you both risk something. You both risk something that way, So,
I know.
And then these days you can also, if you think somebody is a scammer, ask them to send you a simple video. Like, you can just say, send me a 3-second video of you saying, ni hao. And then, if they don't send you a video, then you know that something's wrong. They're not who they say they are, But usually, it's easy to spot the fake people here. They're pretty obvious. They don't have much skill. they're not very good at pretending to be someone else. So it's usually pretty obvious. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. And then Romina says most of the people here flirt. That's true. A lot of guys come on this app to flirt. And here's what I would tell you about that. You can meet a girl here, but if you want to do that, then I suggest you do it passively and not actively. What that means is don't be a weirdo who's just messaging girls all day. Message a bunch of people, and if you happen to make a connection with somebody, if you feel like, oh, this girl seems cool and I like her, and she seems like she's cool, like she thinks I'm cool and she likes me too, that's okay. Just be slow. Just take your time, right? Again, patience will win, okay? If you're serious about somebody and you really want to have some kind of a connection, that's okay. But if you show patience, it will work. If you are impatient and you start saying really naughty stuff in, the second day you meet, that's not going to work, and that's not cool. So yeah, you have to just, there's Eddie, I forgot how to say it in Chinese, the golden rule. Do you know the golden rule? Do you know what that means? Do you know what that is, Eddie? The golden rule?
No.
In Chinese it is, let me see.
Well, I say Chinese. I understand it.
Yeah. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, right? So what that means is in Chinese, we have the same saying in English, right? So in English, we say, treat other people nicely if you want them to treat you nicely. But in Chinese, they say, don't treat people badly if you don't want them to treat you badly. It's the same idea, though. That's all it is, right? It's the same idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So good luck, Eddie. Just be patient and you just keep trying and be interesting. Make a good profile. There's always a risk that you could be talking to some fake people, but I've been on here for almost 12 years and I really have not had that many. And the reason why is very simple. Because they all know I'm serious. So as soon as you talk to me, it requires work. And scammers don't want to work.
Mm-hmm.
So
right.
If you show that you're real, it will be obvious that they are fake. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, good luck to you with that, Eddie. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, just keep trying, and be patient, and remember that you need to try to think about it like it's a numbers game. Like if you message 1,000 people, then maybe you'll get 10 great friends. Okay? And that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot of people. I know that's a lot, but that's how it works. If you want something, you have to be willing to earn it. And I think people are getting too lazy on the internet. They think that everything should just happen like that, But if you want something, you have to be willing to go after it. I tell people, do you know the word tenacious, Eddie? Tenacious. It's a good word. Tenacity.
Tenacious.
Yeah. Tenacious. Tenacity. To have tenacity. To be tenacious. It's a good word to learn. It's a word. It means that you are like a hungry tiger.
Okay.
Does a hungry tiger ever give up? No. A hungry tiger never gives up. Right? So that's what you have to be like. You have to be tenacious. Don't give up. Keep trying. Okay?
Okay.
All right, my friend. Well, then I'm going to let you go, but come back and see me again sometime, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Now we have Terry wants to talk to me. Let's talk to Terry. Let's see what Terry wants to say. Terry, are you there?
Hi, Teacher Mark.
Hello, Terry. How are you? Good to see you again.
I'm I'm glad you still remember me. Thank you so much.
I do, yeah. As soon as I saw you, I was like, oh, I remember this guy. What's up? What's new?
Uh, I have joined a new company, a tech company.
Mm-hmm.
So, have you used robot vacuums at your home?
Me, no. My brother has one, though.
Okay. Have you heard a brand called Roborock?
I don't think so.
Roborock.
I don't think so.
Okay. Okay. It's a company I'm working for, and
Okay.
it's a #1 global brand
Oh,
in the robo vacuum
wow.
industry. Yeah.
It's called what again? Roborock.
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 Yeah.
ROCK? Oh,
Yeah,
there it
ROCK.
is. I see it. Look at that. It came right up. Wow. Wow, man, some of those are expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We are focused on the high-end.
Yeah, I think
expensive
so. I think so.
property.
Yeah, that's a very high-end one. My brother has a cheap one. We can't afford this one. That looks like a really nice one. That's amazing. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but we also offer a few
Cheaper models.
cheaper ones, but most of them are high-end.
Okay. All right. So what can I do for you today? How's the new job working out? You like it?
Yeah, I'm really like it.
Good.
You know, the I can see it's almost it's my favorite company I have ever worked for. It's
Well, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
you know,
great.
I'm crazy busy in this company, but I think I have never so busy before, but I really enjoy it because
It's a good busy.
The people are so kind. They normally when we join a new company, first of all they don't believe in you. They want to test you. They will assign a few tasks to you to see how you perform.
Mhm.
But in this company, the day I joined this company, they trust me.
That's
because,
awesome. Yeah.
You know, they waited for me for a month because when I accepted the offer, I told them I have to join this company after 1 month. They waited for me for a month, and the day I joined the company, they treated me like a family member.
That's awesome. Yeah. You know, like
Yeah.
it's a lot like that in the music business too, where there's a big difference between when you're in a band where you feel like you're a family member. Like I'm in. There's one band that I'm still in that I've been in for more than 25 years. Those guys are like my brothers. I mean, we are that close, right? We really trust each other completely. All right. But I also have been in many bands where you just get hired, like they pay you and they say, come join our band, we need you to come play for us. And sometimes they are smart and they say, well, we know that you're not really part of our family, but we want to make you feel like you are, because we know that it will work better if everybody feels like they're a part of the team, right? But some bands, they will hire you and they will make you feel like you are the outsider and you're not part of the band, and we're watching you and we could get somebody else, anytime, so you better work hard, because if you don't, we're going to get somebody else, and that's never good. If you're in a band and you feel like you're part of it, you want to work harder because you love those guys and you want to be part of that team. That's a teamwork. The other one is basically just slavery. That's like telling you, you better be careful because if you don't, we're going to get rid of you. That's not caring. And if you want me to care about your company, you better show that you care about me.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big mistake that corporations have made for generations. For generations, corporations have always said, when you work for our company, you're like family. But so many of them, that's not true at all. They will kill you and throw you away at any second for any reason, you know? But some companies have learned that it's much cheaper to keep somebody happy than it is to replace them all the time and then have to reteach somebody all the time. So, and then you get loyalty. Loyalty is something that money can't buy. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. You know, there is a funny thing in this company. You know, in most Chinese company, we need to clock in, clock out. So the company know when you come, when you go. But in this company, they don't want us to.
Good
do
for
that.
them.
So,
That's awesome. Good for you. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, because again, you're not a baby. You're not a baby,
Yeah.
and you don't want to be treated like you're being watched all the time. You want to be treated like you're respected and that they trust you. They trust you to do what you say you're going to do. And that you have
Yeah.
pride and integrity. If you have pride and integrity, then you will do what you say. You know?
yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
what Bellin says, it has to be reciprocal, you know? A company has to care about its workers, and its workers has to care about the company. But that can only happen when they both care. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why even I'm so crazy busy, but I really enjoy this work. I don't need to clock in, clock out, but I work so I think it's the first company that I worked over like 9 hours or 12 hours a day.
Hmm.
You know,
Well, let me
even
ask
I don't need.
let me ask you a question. If you started your own company,
Okay.
how many hours would you work a day?
You know, I'm, you know, I don't really have many habits. So for me, working is one of my habits
Okay.
because I really want to make myself valuable. I want to make a contribution. So you know, I haven't start think that when what I will do when I own my company. I haven't think that, but
Well,
If-
what I
what-
mean,
if-
though, Terry, what I mean is very simple. If you have your own company, when you're the boss of your own company, do you really have hours? Do you work from 9 to 5, or do you just always work?
I guess I will always work.
Yeah,
because
that's what I mean.
it's
Like,
my company.
that's what I mean. Right now, as a teacher, for me, I don't have a boss, I don't have a school or anything, so I am my sense of work is very different. I don't have like a time that I work from time, 9 to 5. No, if I have an idea that I need to think about at 10 o'clock at night or 3 o'clock in the morning, then I do, because this is my business, so I have to work all the time. When it's yours, there is no time when it's yours. So what I'm saying is it's not that different. When you work for a company, if you care about the company and you value what they have and you feel like they value you, then you can have that same sense of, I work all the time, but I don't mind because I love my work. You know?
Yeah, it you know it reminds me of the experience when we apply for jobs. They give us the interview. So some of them will ask why you don't own your own company. So I always said, you know, starting a company, it maybe probably it is not suitable for everyone. Working for a company is also kind of starting your own business, because I treat it like it's my company. I work so hard, so I don't need to start my own company. I treat it as my own company. So I'm working so hard. I invest in myself. So even I don't have a company, but I take it as my company.
You know what you can say next time? You can say,
Okay.
I think it's better to ride a few bikes before you start making them.
Yeah. Well,
Do you understand what that means?
It's deep. It's
Yeah, it's a good way to say, like, look, I work for your company because if I ever do want to make my own thing, if I ever want to do my own thing, I have to learn first. So first I have to ride some bikes, and then I'll learn. Then maybe one day I can make some.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a deep one.
Yeah, that's a good one. They'll be like, wow, okay, that was a good answer. You know, so yeah, sometimes if you have just the right words, you know, it works. So sometimes you have to ride a few bikes before you can start making them. Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's true for anything, any job. You're supposed to learn how to do the job before you start saying you're the boss. You have to work your way up. You have to learn all of the what we call the ins and outs of the business. Do you know all the ins and outs? Means do you know everything about the business? You know?
Okay.
Yeah. So, but Terry, that's good. I'm glad you sound like you're doing really well.
Yeah, I really enjoy it, and full of enthusiasm every day. So I hope I can stay for a long time, so I can continue to make the contribution, and we can do something greater. We can do the greater thing because it's a really good company. It's and we're also a public listed company in China. It's a very famous brand in the global, not just in China, but the world.
Yeah,
And,
I'm sure it is. I mean, it was the first one that came up. It's just that I can't afford that. You know, so we look at the cheap ones. We look at I can't remember the one my brother has, but it's been around. It's a company that's been around for a long time. I can't remember what it's called, but
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Anyway.
You know what? If you want to test some robot vacuums, well, we have special discounts for you. Yeah, I can apply.
Oh wow! Look at that. I wasn't hoping for that, but wow! Well, that's too nice of you. Well, Terry, let me know because I would maybe. Who knows? Maybe I can get one for my mom for her birthday. She would love that. My mom, she's getting older and she still vacuums the floor almost every day. You know, so maybe she'd be happy if she had a vacuum. Yeah. Anyway. Well,
Yeah,
that's a generous offer. That's a generous offer, Terry. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we're almost selling our products in all the reputed online channel, including Amazon, Best Buy, Target, any reputed website you can name it. So it's very easy to deliver the product to you, and you know. I'm in charge of the Amazon channel, so we're selling the products via Amazon, and usually we need to connect to some Amazon manager to get some resource from them. And when so many times when I connect to some Amazon manager and I said, hey, I'm Terry, I'm from Rock, I want to connect, and they said, oh, we know you. I just bought a robot vacuum. It's really a good investment. So it makes the business very easy.
That's
because
good.
They know our product and they really like it.
That's great. Yeah, that's good. When your company has a good reputation, that's most of the work. You know,
Yeah.
if you have a good reputation, people will buy it just because you have a good reputation. That's amazing. That's why building a reputation is so important. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good for you, Terry. I'm really happy for you. Really happy for you. Each time we have talked, you have your career and your life has gotten better each time. I'm happy for you.
You know, I really want to say thank you to you because you know the greatest thing I can learn from you because you told me that even I have accent, even I'm from China. We definitely have accent. It's very normal. So I always remember that. So because before I talk to you, I always feel very nervous. I'm not confident because I'm a Chinese. I have accent in English. But you told me that you're not a native English people. You're not a native American people. So you have accent. It's normal. So it makes me feel, wow, yes, it's very normal. We have accent. So
Yeah.
language, and you said language is about expression. So I always remember that. So it's all about expression, communication. Yeah, that's
He's
all.
repeating my words. He does remember it. That is exactly what I say.
Yeah,
Language is about
yeah,
expression and communication, not about perfection. And your accent is your color. It's the language. It's the color of language. And you don't want to take away the color. No, keep the color. But you just have to learn how to make it clear. That's all. It just has to be clear, so that if you have a clear accent, then you get two things. When you have a clear accent, and I don't mean an American accent, I mean a clear Chinese accent. If somebody hears you and they hear every word you said and they understood you and they know you're from China, now you've done two things. You've communicated and they understand, and you've represented your culture well. Because now people say, "Oh, well, he speaks English really well, and he's got a Chinese accent, but I understood him really well." Now they will, the next time they meet somebody from China, they will feel more comfortable talking to somebody from China. Right? So it
yeah,
helps other people too. If you still keep your accent, but you just make it clear, learn how to make it clear, then when other people talk to you, maybe that's the first time they've talked to a Chinese person. And maybe they were nervous. Maybe they're like, I don't know if I'm going to understand him, you know? But if they do, then everybody's happy, right? And now they leave feeling like, oh, well, next time I talk to a Chinese person, I'll feel more comfortable, right? So that's why you don't need to get rid of your accent. You never really need to get rid of your accent. You do just need to make sure that you find any sounds that are problem sounds and then work on them to make sure that your sound is clear. But Terry, your English is really pretty good. It's clear enough.
thank you.
It's really clear enough. And more, I'll tell you one thing I like about the way you speak, Terry, is you speak carefully, which means that I can tell that it's not like you're trying to translate and you're too slow or something, but I can see that you are thinking about your words and trying to choose them sometimes, like carefully find the right word. That's great. That is care of language. And I don't care what language it's in. People are not careful enough with their words these days. They just say anything. But when you slow down, you have an advantage because you can take more time to think and find the right words. So one of the reasons I love to speak slowly is because my mind is really fast. So if I speak slowly, then my mind has plenty of time to find exactly the right words that I want to say next. Okay? Your mind is
Okay.
always faster than your mouth. You know? So slow your mouth down, and then it's much easier to be careful. But I think you're probably like that when you speak Chinese, even. When you speak Chinese, I bet you're kind of careful about the way you choose your words.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's a really good thing in general. That has nothing to do with language. That's just good communication. You slow down and you're more careful. That's rare today. Okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
So good for you.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, Terry, good luck to you, my friend. I'm going to let you go, but it's always such a
Okay.
pleasure. You know, it's one of my favorite things in this, what I do here, is when I get to see people when they raise their hand and come back, you know, like a year later or 2 years later, and they say, hey, you know, like I used all your tricks, or they say, hey, like I really want to say thank you because this really helped me, or it's always really, really, really gratifying and satisfying when a student comes back to tell me that whatever I did helped them some way, you know? Yeah, so it's great.
You really did.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
you really
it.
did.
I appreciate it very much, Terry. It makes it all worthwhile, you know? A teacher needs to feel like it matters, you know? So I'm glad. I'm glad when somebody tells me it matters. I feel good. So thank you. I appreciate that. So, all right. Well, Terry, again, come back and see me again sometime and send me a message. Maybe I'll see if I can just look and see. I don't know. Maybe there's some cheap model you have that I can afford. And I'll see if I can buy one for my mom, maybe. I don't know. So,
Okay.
all right. Well, take care,
Okay.
Terry. Thanks again, and I'll see you next
Okay.
time, okay?
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye-bye. All right. Let's see. Please be patient. Please be patient. Please be patient. You work full-time in a company 8 to 5 and you like your job? That's fine. That's good. I just think that's not that common. I think that most people who work 8 to 5 jobs they don't really like the work. They do the work. It's what we call the lesser of two evils, right? Many people have a job that they don't really like, but they think it could be a lot worse. I could be working construction. That would be much, much worse. Or I could be working, in a field picking strawberries. That would be much, much worse. But that's not a very good way to think about work or whether or not you are getting what you need. And by the way, I have over here in my... Blake, hello, Blake. Good to see you. And Valeria, hello. I'm glad you're learning. And Johnny, thank you very much. You guys are too much. I'm just a drummer. If you guys learn any one thing from me, I hope that at least this one thing is learned. The next time you meet a drummer or some guy who's just like a musician or something, I hope that you will think twice about whether or not this guy, I think sometimes people think that, he's just a musician, so he's not really that educated or not that smart or not that wise or doesn't have that much to offer. I hope the next time you meet some musicians, you'll have a new appreciation for the things that can be learned. Because all of the things that I'm telling you are things that I've learned. That's all. It's not special. It's anything anybody can learn. Wisdom is the act of being dumb more than anyone else and learning. So if you think I'm wise, it's only because I have been dumb a lot more than you. And I learned. Okay? Everybody's dumb sometimes, but not everybody learns from it. All right. Let's see. Hello, Arman. Yeah, I'm sharing my feedback. That's right. Orenbeck, there's another one, a long-time follower. How are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you, Amina. Yeah, you can learn things two ways in life, the easy way and the hard way. The easy way is when you learn from other people. Like, they tell you shouldn't do this because it's stupid, right? That's the easy way. But sometimes you have to learn things the hard way by doing them and messing up and then learning the lesson. So wisdom can happen in many ways, but I think that some of wisdom has to happen by trying and failing. That you can't really become wise if you never actually take a risk and fail and get back up and fail and get back up and fail and get back up. Norman, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right, let's see. How about Mum? Mum wants to talk to me. Mum wants to talk to me. Mum, are you there? Raise your hand if you want to come talk. If you have a question. You need to have a question. You have noticed that many teachers say when you learn to speak English, you don't need to learn grammar. What's my opinion about that? My opinion about that is... Of course you need some grammar. Of course you need some grammar. That's a stupid, stupid thing to say. You cannot write a sentence without some sentence structure. You cannot create language if you don't know anything about the language. So of course you need some. Okay? There are 8 different parts of language, and you need to create a building with them. They're what I call the 8 pillars of language. What is a pillar, everybody? Do you guys know what a pillar is? Pillar. What is a pillar? What's a pillar? A pillar is a column, like a building, right? A pillar is like the things that hold the building up, right? If you go to Greece, right? If you go to Greece, you'll see the buildings, they all have these big, beautiful pillars that are holding up the buildings, okay? Well, language has 8 pillars. They're the fundamentals, that's right, the rudiments of the language. And you have to keep them in balance. They have to be balanced to learn well. So if you only focus on this one but you don't focus on that one, then your table is uneven. Okay? Imagine that these pillars are like the legs of a table. You need an even table. Okay? If you never study grammar, your table is like this. If you never study vocabulary, your table is like this. Okay? So reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. Those are the 8 pillars of balanced language. Okay? You have to work on all of them. That's what I think. All right? You have a problem with verb conjugation. How can you learn how to conjugate verbs and tenses? Because sometimes I don't know. Amina, it takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of practice. Let me see. I think let me look at something. Wait a minute. Go to this website. Go to this website, Amina, excuse me, games2learnenglish.com. Go to this website, and they have a lot of games. It's all games. It's free website. And it's all games. And they have games for different tenses that will teach you how to conjugate. Okay? And it's games. So you can just play games every day and get better. All right? I promise. It's a great website. It's really fun. It's good for kids, good for adults. Can I give you a plan to learn English? No. I can't. Do you know why? There are 2 reasons why I can't give you a plan to learn English. 1, I don't know you. Everybody has a different plan. The plan I give for this guy is not going to work for you. You are not him. Okay, so that's one reason I can't give you a plan. And another reason why I can't give you a plan is because that's something that if you want a plan from a teacher and they make a plan for you, you should pay for that. I can make a plan for you. If you buy a lesson, then we can talk. Okay? Because you'll have to explain, you'll have to tell me about yourself. You'll have to tell me about your background. You'll have to tell me about your English goals. You'll have to tell me about your strengths and your weaknesses. Okay? After I know all of that, then I can make a plan for you. But I can't make a plan just for somebody. Okay? English grammar is a piece of cake? I don't think I would agree with that. Okay, does anyone else have a question? Raise your hand or write your question in the chat. Raise your hand or write your question. Or, you know, come on stage if you want to talk to me. You can. Anyone want to raise their hand? I thought I saw somebody raise their hand. No? All right. Well, I'm waiting. How do I feel about repairs? What kind of repairs? Alia? 这是开心果。现在我肚子有一点饿，所以我吃开心果。Can I tell you about a website or page that teaches grammar in an easy way? Well, one would be the website I told you about, gamestolearnenglish.com. ChatGPT is another fantastic way to learn grammar. You just have to tell it, hey, teach me grammar in a fun way, and it will. And if it's not fun, you can say, hey, make it more fun, and it will. Okay, so definitely do that. There is a book that I really do like. You know, I have dozens and dozens of grammar books, but one that I like is called Basic English Grammar. And it's by a company called Saddleback Publishing. That's my favorite grammar book. There's book 1 and book 2. And I think that one is great. Okay? Chao bar? 不知道，这个是什么？ Can we become perfect in grammar through YouTube and ChatGPT and by practicing all of that which we have learned from them? Yes and no. No one is ever perfect with grammar because grammar is your kitchen table. Your kitchen table must be cleaned every day. Grammar is like that. So no matter how good you get, you still need to clean it every day. Okay? No matter how good you get, you still need to clean it every day. English Grammar in Use. That is the most famous book, English Grammar in Use, and I have it too. It's not my favorite. I think it's boring. I think it's dry. And sometimes I think their explanations are too complicated. Not simple enough. So, it's okay, but I don't think it's that great. It's the most famous, but I think it's not that great. Yeah. So, I can use it to scold my best friend. Oh, all right. Okay. 你要我说什么? Uh, 如果你要看我，星期一到星期六，我常常，我觉得就是大概9点晚上，还是10点晚上 ，OK， 在美国就是早上，在中国就是晚上。Okay, so in China about 9 or 10 a.m. I'm sorry, p.m. In China about 9 or 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday. Okay? Okay, interesting. All right. Is 9th grade grammar different from higher education? Is there more? Yeah, there is more advanced grammar. Definitely. Yeah, Alia. 9th grade grammar is still pretty basic. Advanced grammar can be a bit more difficult. Okay? What do I do? Mm-hmm. 你要知道我的工作吗？我是英文老师，同时也是鼓手。Can you learn grammar from that website? Yes, you can. You can work on your grammar. I wouldn't say you can learn it. You can practice it. It's not a great way to learn the rules, but it's a really great way to practice all of the exercises. Okay? Am I a party animal? Not anymore. I'm too old for that now, but Robert, I'm a musician. I was a drummer who played in bars for most of my life. So, Robert, I worked in bars at night, Monday through Saturday, 4 to 6 nights a week, playing music from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock until 2 o'clock in the morning. So, when I was younger, I was a little bit wild, but I'm not anymore. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. Ohio 州就是在美国中部。I'm still young. Well, I try to feel that way. Summer is about 9 or 10 p.m. in China. 9 or 10 p.m. Monday through Friday or Saturday. Okay? 星期一到星期六，大概9点还是10点晚上。Okay? How many I can speak English and I can speak really terrible Chinese. And I know a little bit about many other languages, but only a little bit. Okay? Okay, guess what? It's been 1 hour and 45 minutes, so I need to wrap up soon. I need to get going soon, so I'll be here for another 10 minutes or so. So if you have questions, then ask me your questions. If you want to come on stage and ask me a question, then come on stage. and ask me a question. Okay? And I will tell you that if you want to learn more, you can also go to my link tree, right? If you go to my link tree, you will find my website. If you go to my link tree, you will find my YouTube. If you go to my link tree, you will find my blog. If you go to my link tree, you will find my podcast. Okay? So you can find many things there. Okay? I can say namaste. That's all I can say in Hindi. All right. And here is my website, and here is my YouTube, and here is my blog. When I speak with ChatGPT, the maximum time he gives me for band 6 to 6.5. After a month, I will take the IELTS. Can you give me some advice? You have to push yourself more, Aman. If you are at a B1 level, then you must push yourself to do B2 level work. If you are at a B2 level, then you must push yourself to be at a C1 level of work. Okay? So whatever level you are at, you're always supposed to be trying to push further. That's a big mistake many people make, is they just practice at their level. And if you always practice at your level, then you're never improving. You're never challenging yourself. You can't improve if you don't challenge yourself. Okay? So push yourself more. Tell ChatGPT, give me slightly more, right? I need to work at a slightly higher level than my actual level. So tell ChatGPT that if you think I'm at a 6 or a 6.5, then you need to challenge me with more of the 7-point material. Okay? That's what you need to do. Andy says, 我会说英文，可是我不可以说。我听得懂英文，可是我不会说。Andy， 如果你不会说，这是因为你不想。Okay? You can't think it. 不会想。如果你不会想，你不会说。Okay? 所以为什么我可以说中文？这是因为我可以想中文。Okay? So if you can think it, you can speak it. But if you can't think it, you can't speak it. Okay? What's my story with HelloTalk? How did I find the app for the first time? Norman, I found it 11 and a half years ago, when I was trying to teach myself Chinese. I was downloading apps to help me learn Chinese, and it was one that came up. So I downloaded it, and then I really just fell in love with being able to talk to people around the world so easily. So it was great for language, but it was even better for cultural exploration. Yeah. You can listen to me and understand me, but when you speak English to other people, you're empty in your mind. That's the same answer, Zora. 明天如果你去商店，用你的英文的脑，没有中文啊。你需要想，我需要买什么东西？ What do I need to buy? What do I need to buy? That's really expensive. 这是很贵。That's very expensive. That's sold out. 这是卖完了。如果你看电视，想英文。 I think he's cute. I think he's funny. I don't like this show. I do like this show. Okay? So you have to start with simple things. Just start trying to think everything that you do that's simple in English. Okay? Do I use contractions to communicate with each other in apps? Well, that depends on who I'm talking to, and that depends on the kind of conversation I'm having. Robert, most communication on apps is informal, right? When people talk on Facebook, nobody cares about your grammar. So there are lots of people with really terrible grammar on Facebook, okay? So what I would say is the level of language that you use depends on who you're talking to, okay? You want to speak fluently, can I talk with ChatGPT? Faris, if you want to be awesome at English, then you need to do everything to be awesome. Not just one thing. Nobody has ever become awesome by doing it the easy way. Let me say that again. Look at me. Nobody has ever become awesome by doing something the easy way. So when you say, can I do it just by doing this? That's the easy way. No, you can't be great. If you start your sentence with, can I do it by just doing this, by only doing this? No, you can't be great. Only and just are not words that are used when you're trying to be great. Every is the word to use. Don't do only one thing, do everything. Okay? Yes, learn how to think. ASAP, DIY, forever. Oh, right. So some of those are appropriate and some of those are not appropriate, Robert. ASAP, DIY, those are somewhat acceptable that are not considered lowering the language. But if you write 4, the number 4 ever, you look like a 10-year-old girl. If you want everyone to think that you are a 10-year-old girl, then use that kind of language. Okay? No, I never say, you are great. I never, ever do that. Ever. Never, ever. Why? Because I'm not a 10-year-old girl. No offense to girls. No offense to girls, but I'm not trying to be cute. Why are you trying to be cute? What is that? Why are you desperate for people to think that you're cool? Just write properly. Just write like a normal human being. Yes, you can. You can be younger. If you want people to think you're younger, write like a child. You can do that. Yeah. Okay, I hate that kind of writing. I really do. I'm sorry, but I just find it to be childish and lazy. Just write the words. They're not that long. You're not saving yourself any time, and you are not that important. You're not that important that you need to save time by not writing the whole word. Okay? All right? Yes, I am American. Yeah, don't write like that. Or definitely don't write like that. Never mention my name if you write like that. I don't want any part of you. If you're writing like that, then you're not one of my students. Okay? What's the right website to check your CEFR level? Just use ChatGPT. But you need to talk to it a lot, Rithvik. So have 10 long conversations. Have 10 long conversations with ChatGPT. And then at the end, ask it, what's my level? If you only write 1,000 words, then it's not going to give you an accurate answer. But if you answer 10 long conversations, have a conversation about sports, that's 10 minutes long. Have a conversation about science, that's 10 minutes long. Have a conversation about art, that's 10 minutes long. If you do that 10 times, then ask ChatGPT, what's my level? And that will be accurate. It will tell you, you are at this level. Okay? How should you learn new vocabulary? You should learn new vocabulary by reading my article about how to learn vocabulary. So I will give it to you. Here is my article about vocabulary. One moment. Where did I put it? Here it is. This is an article. Write it. I'm sorry, read it. Not write it. Read it! Read it! That's my article. I wrote that. It's about vocabulary. Okay? Read that. All right. Please be patient. I'm trying to catch up with all of the comments. I am a motivator. Any good teacher is a motivator. They should be. You have a job interview and you need to train it, but you're afraid because of the interview in English. Well, the only way forward is through. So if you're afraid, go do it. After you're done, you'll be less afraid. If you're afraid of going through a tunnel, go through the tunnel. The next time you see a tunnel, you won't be so afraid. If you're afraid of interviews, go do an interview. The next time you do an interview, you won't be so afraid. Okay? Confidence takes practice and bravery. And yes, I'm drinking coffee. Will you be able to read technical information after learning grammar? Well, that depends on what kind of technical information. Grammar is not about technical information. Grammar is just about the rules of language and the ways it can be used. That's all. Okay? But technical information, that could be about computers, or it could be technical information about music, it could be technical information about science or space or iPhones. The technical information is a very big term. Okay? Does reading require making a sound? It doesn't require it, but it's a good way to practice. Reading out loud is a good way to practice. Can I repeat that? Brenda, I don't know what you're asking me to repeat. I hate when that happens, when somebody says, can you say that again? And I have no idea what they're talking about. I don't know what you mean. What did I say? Not if it's in your head. Again, wow, so hard. I don't know what are we talking about? I'm confused. Speak slower. When? 有时候我说慢一点，有时候我说快一点。我觉得你可以听我，看我，加油，试试看。一些你可以听得懂，一些听不懂，没关系啊。好不好？ About the job interview, Brenda. If you are afraid of job interviews, then go do some. Go do an interview for a job that you don't even want. Right? Like maybe you have a job right now and you are very happy at your job, but you want to practice your confidence. You want to be more confident the next time you have an interview. So go do one. Go find a job that has an interview and go do the interview. And then just do your best. Maybe they offer you the job. You never know. Maybe you'll get a better job just because you tried. Or maybe you're not interested at all, but you'll feel more confident after. Right? So go do a few practice job interviews. Okay? Practice job interviews. How old am I? I am older than the flowers, but younger than the mountains. Are there students who have been following me for 12 years? Ooh, probably, maybe? I'm not sure. I don't know if, I don't think I can, I don't have any way to see that. I don't know how long people have been following me, so I have no idea. No, I cannot understand Cantonese. Nope, don't know Cantonese. Do I think hobbies can be used as work? Music was my hobby. I turned it into my job. I began as a teacher of music. That's how I learned how to be a teacher. So, my hobby began as drumming when I was about 15, right? I started drumming when I was about 11 or 12. But then it became more serious, like a serious hobby when I was about 15, 16. And then I turned my hobby into a job at the age of 18, playing music in bands and bars and clubs and teaching. So I found my job as a teacher from my hobby as a drummer. And my hobby as a drummer became my career as a drummer. Do I think artificial intelligence applications sing about real I think what you mean is it as good as a real partner? No, it's not as good, but it's still amazing. Okay? A good employee should know 4 languages. What? No. I never said that. Why do you need 4 languages? That's right. Go to the interview and just do an interview. Even if you don't need the job. Because it's practice. You just go to the interview and you do an interview and now you feel confident that you can do interviews better. You know, doing an interview is something that makes you feel nervous. But if you do it more, you won't be nervous. Okay? That's right. Older than the flowers, but younger than the mountains. That's how old I am. Do I think a person's talent is greater than their effort? I think that you have to have both. In the entertainment world, we have a saying. We say, hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Let me write that for you. Hustle beats talent when talent doesn't hustle. Whoops, I'm sorry, I misspelled talent, but you know what I mean. And what that means is sometimes that you see a person who's very talented. They seem to have a natural ability, but they don't work very hard. Because they have a natural ability, they don't really need to work very hard. But then I see another person who doesn't have the natural ability, but they work really hard. And guess what? In the beginning, it will look like the person who has natural talent is up here, and the person who doesn't have natural talent is down here. But like I said, the person with natural talent, often that person doesn't work that hard. So that means they stay right here. But this person over here, they work hard. So they're not very talented, but they're going to work hard. And every day they work harder, and every day they work harder. And then eventually, look at that. Now the guy who works harder beats the guy who has more talent. So, you can't only have talent, and you can't only have hard work. You need both. And actually, the funny thing about talent, talent comes from hard work. So for example, if you work at something, I don't care what it is, pick something that you love to do. If you do that thing for 10 years, people are going to say, wow, you're so talented. They're seeing your work. They're seeing your hard work. They call it talent, but they're seeing your hard work. Okay? So, Bob Ross. Bob Ross is a famous American painter who used to teach painting on TV. And he used to say, talent is a pursued interest. Talent is a pursued interest. What that means is find an interest, something that you like, something you're interested in is an interest. Find an interest. Pursue it. To pursue means to chase. Chase after your interests. And if you chase them long enough, people will say you're talented. If you chase after your interests long enough, people will say you are talented. Okay? Oh, wow. Okay, so many questions. Please be patient. Can I dance or other talents? I'm not a good dancer, but I'm a fantastic cook. I can cook as well as most restaurants or better. I write music. I'm a drummer. I think I do a bunch of other things. I don't think I do any of them expertly, but I love to do them. My wisdom makes me a poet and a rapper sometimes. Well, that's funny. I like that. Thank you, Irene. It's like picking up girls. If you do it too much, you won't be afraid. Okay, that's a bad analogy, but okay, kind of true. Yeah, like if you're afraid to talk to girls, then go talk to girls. Then you'll stop being afraid. Okay, but let's not call it picking up girls. Let's just say talking to girls. Picking up girls, that sounds like you don't care about them, and that's not a good thing. So, if you're afraid to talk to girls, then go talk to them. That's how you stop being afraid. Okay? You have a saying about age, all that I have, they're all mine. Okay, Alex, I like that. That's good. Okay. It was so difficult to get an offer. You always say the wrong thing during interviews. That's because interviews are always about one thing. Interviews are about confidence. Okay? They are going to hire the person who looks the most confident. Not arrogant, confident. When someone wants to hire a person for a job, that means they have a problem. There's a problem at that business that needs to be solved. So you have to make yourself look like you are the solution to their problem. But if you go to the interview and you're nervous and you look like you're worried and you're shy, you don't look like you're the solution to the problem. You look like you are another problem. They don't want another problem. They already have one. Okay? So you have to look like you're the solutions to their problems, not just another problem. Okay? Some applications make you read the text. Sure, it's a good way. What? Tell me how it could be bad. Of course it's good. Diligence is also important, of course. Yeah. Method is also important, of course. Yeah. You're a college student, they evaluate us as unemployed upon graduation. I don't think I know what that means. Jimmy says, I'm not smart. Jimmy, I don't know you. But you are. You just don't know how. Jimmy, you need to try more. You need to try more things. You will. You will find something that makes you feel like you are smart. But you can't find it if you don't look. Let me try to say that one more time, please. If you want to find something, then you must look for it. You can't find it if you don't look. How to pronounce words in the middle with the R in the middle. Like flap T, like consonants like D, G. Okay, that's a big question, Rithvik. Rithvik, you gotta give me... That's a long question. There are many, many things in there. Choose one. Pick one and I'll explain it. But there are too many there. Okay? I know some Chinese dramas. I don't know a lot. Can I play drums for you right now? Maybe I'll play one song at the end. Let me check over here. Did I miss anybody over here? I didn't. Hello to my YouTube people over here. I'm still watching you. The hypothesis of natural language acquisition is valid. My child is only 3 years old. Yeah, okay. It's valid. That doesn't mean that it's perfect. It's valid. That doesn't mean that it's the best. And it's valid in this case. That's what we call anecdotal evidence. All right? Immersion does work. Of course it does. But do you know what immersion is? Immersion means you surround yourself with the language, right? So if you take a language class and they tell you, we are not going to speak any more Chinese, now only English. Or we aren't going to speak any more English, only Chinese. That's kind of like learning how to swim by taking the baby and just saying, we're going to throw the baby in the deep water. There's the deep water over there. The shallow water is over here. And they can learn in the shallow water, and it's safer, and it's less traumatic, and it's nicer, it's more fun over here in the shallow water. But to be honest with you, immersion is a teacher being lazy. Because that's the laziest thing a teacher can do, is not help their students by just throwing them all in the deep end. Just swim, children, swim! Swim or drown! You know, that's kind of what it's like with language immersion. So does it work? Yeah, but is it fun? Is it the best way? Does it traumatize people sometimes? Yeah, it does, you know? So, anyway. You haven't had any exposure to society? Society will start getting it. Start getting it, man. Can I explain the essentials to master when entering society? No, I can't. I can tell you that you can follow 2 good rules. One rule is do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That means if you want people to treat you well, then you should treat other people well. Or if you don't want people to treat you poorly, then you should not treat other people poorly. That's called the golden rule. Okay? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Okay? And then my second life rule is from Shakespeare. Macbeth. Or is it Hamlet? No, it's Macbeth. No, Hamlet. I've forgotten. I've gotten my Shakespeare mixed up in my head. It doesn't matter. The point is, the quote is, this above all, To thine own self be true. This above all, to thine own self be true. It means be true to yourself. There is only one you. You cannot be anyone else. If you spend your time trying to be someone else, you will fail. If you spend your time trying to be yourself, you will succeed. And remember, especially if you're in China, remember this. Rod Serling is a famous American, he was a director and he was involved with a TV show in America a long time ago. And he had a great quote that I really love. He said, being just like everybody is the same as being nobody. That, every Chinese person understands that. Being just like everybody else is the same as being nobody. So, don't be like everybody else. Be you. There's only one you. That's valuable, right? When there are many of one thing, that's not valuable. But if there are a bunch of red apples, but you're the only golden apple, now you're special. If there are a bunch of fruit, but you're the only vegetable, now you're special. Okay? But if everybody's an apple, then they don't need you. There's many apples. They can get another apple. Okay? Okay, guys, I am starting to run out of energy, and I really probably need to eat something. I've only had some nuts for breakfast and some coffee, and my stomach is starting to growl. And it's 12:41, and I have been here for 2 hours and 17 minutes. Yeah, Peter, in Chinese, the golden rule is the same, but in the opposite way. So in English, we say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which means treat other people well if you want them to treat you well. The Chinese have the same saying, but they say it the opposite way. They say, don't treat people badly if you don't want them to treat you badly. Okay, but it's the same. Okay? Let me check that. I always forget. What is it? Let me check. To thine own self be true. Hamlet. Sorry, I said Macbeth. It was Hamlet. Sometimes I get them confused. I forgot. Hamlet. I should remember that. Okay. Y is about... Huh? Alex? I don't understand your question. Do I think having scars on the face will affect one's fate? Robert, probably, but maybe not in the way you think. Okay? There's one guy, he's a famous actor, who's been in so many movies. And do you know why he's been in so many movies? Because he has a big scar across his face. So they're like, oh, we want that guy. He looks like he'd be perfect for this movie. Okay? And if you have a big scar on your face, anybody who has something physical that they have to carry that is not considered pretty or not considered beautiful or not considered the best, any physical trait that you have that isn't as good as what you want makes you better inside, not outside. So if you're not so pretty in your face, I guarantee you're more pretty in your heart. Okay? Alright, I have to go. Armand wants me to play something with drums. I'll do one song. I'll do one, okay? But I need a minute. I have to set up. So you have to give me 2 minutes to get behind my drums and turn on the camera and everything. So please wait, okay? Don't go anywhere. I'll play one song. All right. Give me a minute to get set up. I have to turn off the camera because I have to switch cameras, and I have to leave the room for a second. But I'm coming right back. I'm coming right back, so just wait, okay? All right, let's see. And I'm going to go ahead and end my YouTube because otherwise YouTube doesn't like it when I play music from Spotify. So to my YouTube people, bye-bye. I'll see you guys next time, okay?